last week? Because
I think Manny just hit another one out.
Oh, that hurt right there. Oh, there's
another one.
There's a drive. There's a drive.
It could be.
We'll be talking about that all night along with a lot of other things. Big Wayne, welcome back, bro.
Oh, man. I shouldn't even came back today.
Why not?
Should just waited till next week when all this baseball stuff is over in my book.
No, man. You got to take it like a man. You got to step up to the plate.
Man, I've been taking it like a man since, 100 years and counting, man.
Yeah.
Come on.
Well, I'll tell you what. We're going to figure it out. I already know why things happen. Before we even talk about why we got this situation going on with the Cubs, let's turn over here and look at our other partner in crime.
Now you're a Lions fan?
He's changed up. Big Bun has put on the Detroit Lions gear this week. What's going on, Bun?
Nothing. It's rather brisk outside. I need a long sleeve.
So the only long sleeve outfit you have is a Detroit Lions.
He got a whole selection of his favorite teams.
Tell the truth. Why are you wearing the Lions today?
Because they play the Bears.
Ah. I understood. Stat Girl 2.8. What's happening?
You can't say how.
She's the size, this is.
I ain't been gone forever, but you can't talk.
No.
Welcome back, bro.
Thank you. See how sweet that is?
Make you feel better.
Man, hit me in the heart, warm me up like warm cocoa.
Kiss you on your head, make your boo-boos go away.
No, okay, George Brett.
We'll tell you about that story a little later, maybe off the air. But if you notice, the fellas are sitting here wearing our pink ribbons, and that's for breast cancer awareness month.
Hey, Bunny, you check yourself?
And wear your jeans to work day, so we're jeaned up. Well, except for Bun, we don't want the camera showing his Elvis pants.
That's what you call.
But we do have
the
show your ribbon, man. Hold it up for the camera.
Man,
Let them know.
right there.
You
They can see it.
Yeah. They get
Pink and black.
Pink, show it, And Big Wayne's wearing his.
Yeah.
And this is courtesy of Mrs. Ronnie Turner Winston, who supplied us with these. And Ronnie, for all the women out there, families out there who either have lost a loved one to breast cancer or are battling that, we say, we're with you. So from Tell It Like It Is, UPTV Channel 6, we're in the fight with you. Speaking of fight, if you want to get in on this fight, hit us at 328-8280, 328-8280. I know you're sitting out there. Because in town right now, the only game that's going on is Champaign Centennials taking on Bloomington. So if you're not over there at Tommy Stewart Field,
Urbana.
hopefully you.
Urbana's homecoming.
I said the only game in town.
Right.
Man, they play football. Man, don't disgrace the. Don't disgrace.
They need
the
to stop disgracing themselves.
Woo!
Don't talk like that.
Why not?
It's a 15-yard penalty.
Oh, he's throwing
On
flags.
who?
On you.
On Urbana.
He's
On
throwing
you.
flags.
You're right.
Well, let's speak about flags and recap. Illinois went to Happy Valley. There was a whole lot of white in the stadium. And the Nittany Lions.
Thought it was snowing.
Right.
And Illinois thought it was snowing too. It was
Snowing touchdowns.
Well,
Snowing
you know what?
touchdowns.
If you had one of them old TVs like we grew up with, you thought it was normal.
Just white on there, huh?
You speak for yourself on grew up with.
Well, he's a different era. he from the era. We're from the era of Atari. He's from the era of PlayStation.
No,
And
Sega.
Nintendo.
Sega.
Okay.
Sega.
Sega.
Okay, he had a color TV. He had no cable.
Ooh, man, please. I don't know nothing about not having cable.
Cable. He came
Honestly.
right. Yeah. We didn't have cable. He had cable.
Right.
We didn't. We had the.
One thing I can say,
rabbit in
my
there.
mama, I'm glad we kept cable. Power, cable. You know, I don't know nothing about not having cable,
He
man.
ain't sent him by no water though, did he?
Man, please.
We're gonna have to stand up.
Pearl, calling. That he said it.
Hey, Pearl, 328-8280. We will take
He
that
said
call.
that, not me.
Bud was the one that made that comment. But speaking of jumping in some hot water, fighting Illini and Penn State, 38-24. Illini went down to defeat Happy Valley. The game looked like it was going to be one that the Illini could pull out early. Jason Ford diving in from about 2 yards out to give Illinois the first touchdown scored on Penn State in the first quarter. Penn State came back, answered the score, and then you saw Juice Williams hook up with Aurelius Ben, score 14-7, and then it just seemed like the wheels started coming off the bus, and before you knew it, you had a 38-24 victory for Penn State. Illinois is now 2-2. They've fallen out to top 25 in the polls. I'm gonna turn to you, Wayne, Illini expert. My first question tonight: where's the defense? Defense, where you at?
It's not over there at Memorial Stadium. I'll tell you that much. Scheme-wise, I mean, you talked about this. We talked about this already. Why is Martez Wilson guarding Derek Williams, #1 receiver coming out of high school 2-3 years ago? Probably the fastest player in the Big Ten. I know Martez is an athlete, but he's no cornerback.
He ain't no athlete then. He's an athlete, but he ain't an athlete.
Right. I mean,
There's different
it takes
types
a
of
special
athletes.
kind of athlete to hold Derek Williams one-on-one.
Right.
And the only athlete on that defense that could have hold Derek Williams one-on-one is Vontae
Is
Davis.
#1.
#1. The guy who might go.
And that's saying that's not saying he's going to stop him. That's saying he's going to slow him down.
right. And so it goes back to, remember we've talked about this.
Scheming.
Scheme, the defensive scheme. 2 games, 24 points in one, 42 points in the other. In a college football game, you think you'd be able to win one of the two, scoring a combined 66 points. You're 0-2 in both games. Now, granted, both games theoretically on the road. I don't know if you want to call that Missouri game a road game. Technically, I would.
Oh, yeah.
You know, a lot of people try to say it's a neutral site, but that's not a neutral
Nah,
site.
I was there. And,
Happy Valley truly is a road game, obviously, in the Big Ten. But 66 points scored by your offense, and your defense can't win either one of the games. Bun, I'll turn to you real quick. What does that say?
You got to shake up the defense a little bit. You got to,
Put some-
start some players, sit some players.
Bingo.
You got to, you got to make
Try
them
was
believe.
not try. I mean,
As we
what
say
you doing
down
is
in
not working.
Kentucky, fat meat greasy. And
Right.
they don't believe fat meat greasy
Right.
right now.
Well, I think after we watched Derek Williams do the trifecta, he ran for one, he caught one for a touchdown, and he ran a 198-yard
He
kick.
pulled the Gale Sayers.
I think he was in the parking lot when he caught that kickoff and just came running through like Forrest Gump.
Just ran past everybody.
Ran past everybody, and then they
Kept
said,
going.
Go, Derek, go. And then they changed to the left and then ran out the stadium. That was, I mean, it was just similar to Jeremy Macklin
Yeah.
in the Missouri game. Right after
Same
a
side of the field.
big touchdown scored by Illinois.
That go to show you there's a problem on the special teams too.
Not
only defense, and special teams.
Right. Now, I mean, the two teams running a kickoff on the same, they seeing something over there.
Yeah.
Because I think it was Eastern. They ran a big kickoff back on the same side.
Right
They
hash
didn't,
mark.
they didn't score, but it was a long kickoff.
And it was
obviously these teams are seeing something in Illinois' scheme on the kickoff return that's being able to be.
Now, you think them guys are getting on them fat checks over there. Somebody would realize that and do something.
Well,
Kick the ball out of bounds,
I know
anything.
Mr. Zook. You know, he worked in the NFL a while, and his jobs was special teams coach.
Yeah, and I was gonna say that was the the big rave about him when he was at Florida, and now he's here in Illinois, is that he was a special teams guru. And like Wayne pointed out, there's been 3 big kickoff returns against the Fighting Illini. All of them have been up the right hash mark. If you go back and look at the Missouri game, when Jeremy Macklin got his, first of all, Derek Williams and Jeremy Macklin were untouched on both kicks.
Well, my question is, I mean, I ain't no scientist or nothing, but why are you kicking to Jeremy Macklin when he did that to you in the game last year? And why are you kicking to Derek Williams? He got other players out there. Kicking on the other side of the field is what, 35, 40 yards wide?
It's just like one of them things. You know,
Nah,
you're going to try them out.
Why?
You're going to see, then maybe there was luck last year.
It's okay.
No, it goes back to what you said. They don't believe fat meat
Don't
greasy.
kick it to 'em.
And fat meat is greasy, and they done dropped that fat meat on the floor twice this year because it slipped out of their hands. Now, we talk about defensive side. Where's the defense? We've seen this. We've talked about the scheme. My belief is they're not getting enough pressure on these mobile quarterbacks. Chase
Right.
Daniels was able to basically sit back there with impunity, and then you look at Clark sit back there against him last week. There's no pressure coming. from the
And that's
front
why I
four.
say take Martez Wilson off of Derek Williams and you blitz him.
Right.
You got a All-American in Vontae Davis. Let him get burnt. Let him see if he can shut down Derek Williams. You got an athlete like Martez Wilson. You blitz him. You play a zone on the rest of the defense.
Right.
Nobody else hurt you that game but Derek Williams.
Yeah, I look at that, and I agree with you, Wayne. The thing, if you look at the stats, Penn State had 24 first downs, Illinois had 19. Total net yards, Penn State 422, Illinois 372. Here's a stat that jumps out for you, though. Penn State ran 44 times for 241 yards.
That's the problem. That's the defense.
That's the front,
Illinois can't stop the run.
and
It's the front four.
It's the front
A
four.
lot of that probably came from Clark, but
And then you got to look at it. They don't tackle. They arm tackling. Downside, arm tackling. Coach, arm tackle.
for one, I'm gonna tell you why. It looks like they're on because everybody that's trying to make a tackle is out in space, and in football, that's the hardest thing to do. They're not getting enough people to the ball,
Nope.
and that's the problem.
It should be
I'm
11.
pretty sure I can make somebody miss an open field. I'm 350 pounds. I got a couple jukes left in me, man.
Yeah, but you know what? You don't want to use them now.
Nah,
Save,
nah.
save them. Save them for later.
talking about what?
Like when we try to get out the club.
He gonna-
the bouncers get in front of you.
Because he juke, because once he gets going one way, it's hard to shift back.
That's for you. I'm right on my feet, man.
He better go out of bounds.
Hey, that's the next show. Tell it like it is. Me versus Bundy, 1-on-1, Oklahoma drill.
Uh-oh. Right here with the camera.
Right here. Bundy, you bring your Giants helmet and your Illinois helmet.
I ain't got to bring no helmet.
Right.
Huh?
Now we'll talk about that next week, but let's get back to this Illinois thing. Now we're talking about where's the defense. I'm looking at Juice Williams. Juice Williams had pretty good game in all aspects. He had 2 touchdowns passing. He had an interception. He threw for about 190 yards. Really has had 4 catches, 110. But sticking back with Juice, he's still growing in the offense. But there were a couple areas that we talked about before. He missed Jeff Cumberland down the middle of the field, wide open. And then when he threw that interception, it was like Aurelius was bracketed underneath and over the top, and he could not get the ball in the place where he
Maybe he been listening to me too much. I've been crying for Reeves to get the ball more.
Right.
I think you his agent.
Who?
You his agent? Who? Because he got an agent too. He got a client.
Who's my client?
Rodney Alexander.
And you see what happened. They put Rodney on a rail. Rodney on a rail ran out of town. Yeah. So my job as an agent. But back to Juice Williams. He's still growing in the offense, I believe. On the passing side, he's doing a lot better.
Yeah.
But it's still those key instances in a game where he's not making the correct reads and the correct throws. And what do you what is your opinion as to what's causing it?
Outside pressure. I mean, he's probably hearing it just like I'm saying it. He's probably hearing a lot of other people. Arias needs to get the ball more. So as a quarterback, you tend to zone in on trying to get one player into the game, and it kind of backfired. So
Right.
I don't know what. I'm not a coordinator. Maybe throw some screen passes to the running back or something.
Right.
Get him in the flow of the game.
Well, we're going to get this caller in the flow of the game, 328-8280. Caller, tell us your name. Tell us where you're calling from. Tell it like it is. Caller? Caller, are you there? Hello? Hey, Renija.
I heard the Giants was undefeated. Is it true?
The Giants are undefeated. They're 3-0.
No, what John?
Now, wait a minute. Now,
What, she talking about?
is she talking about the little Giants or the big Giants?
The little Giants.
Oh yeah, Well, I ain't gonna say we. The Little Giants are undefeated. I'm not gonna tell who the coach is or nothing, but
I think I heard the coach is a fabulous young man.
oh yes, excellent young coach. He'll be looking to move up to the ranks with the Broncos maybe in a year or two.
You got to get your contract renegotiated.
Yeah, I got to talk to my agent.
Anything else you want to talk about, Renija? No?
No.
Okay, well, we appreciate you calling.
And y'all go to sleep by 10.
All right. Going to sleep.
Bye.
We'll talk to you later.
All right. Bye.
Bye. Juice was 13 for 24 last week. Bun, 13 for 24. That's 50% in terms of your statistics. It's not burning up the stats.
No, but
Should be better.
It should be better. I mean, when you look at him back there,
the problem is, what happened? They blitz him early, and they get him. He got happy feet.
Give him quick feet.
So once he thinks they blitzing in the second half. They really not. They disguising their defenses, and they not blitzing. And he's seeing people, and he's seeing people maybe coming, and that's why he's throwing the ball in the spots. He's trying to get rid of the ball.
I think he's getting a lot better at finding big Michael, whoever,
Hold on an hour. Now.
Yeah, he's getting him involved in the game a lot more. And the more he does that, I think the better Juice will become because it causes that defense to suck in. Then you will be able to hit Aurelius and.
Or once you hit somebody off the line, hit them in the zone right there. Then what you gonna do? They got double team Ben. They gonna take your tight end and your beast away. Then what you got?
Somebody got to step up.
There you go.
But look, we sitting here saying that the offense is not the problem. Like Joe said, they scored 24 points and 40. You should not lose those games.
It's defense.
Right. Offense is not
schemes.
the problem. Is not Juice.
Right.
And the running game, they putting up like 200 yards a game.
They put up 189 against Penn State.
Right.
Juniors say they got to hit somebody in the mouth early. You got to take an unsportsmanlike penalty. Hit somebody laid out of bounds.
Now, you bring that up, and that's an excellent point. You know why? Think about last year, everybody's talking about Kevin Mitchell and the safeties and the
Them
fact
boys
they
brung it and they hit. They couldn't cover.
Exactly. But
They
they
couldn't
hit
cover.
somebody. And that makes that receiver running down the seam of the field put his head on a swivel. And I have yet to see
Ask
in the
P.J.
4
Hill.
games. Bingo. And when they played Penn State last year, here, when Michigan came here, they laid some wood on some guys. And that's what I've been talking about with the defense. Juice, on the other hand, I agree with you. He's doing a good job. Is he doing the job that an upper echelon college quarterback would be doing?
No.
He's got a ways to go to get there.
He's doing what he's asked.
I mean,
to
you're
do.
saying no, but anything much better than what Juice is doing right now is probably a Heisman talk.
No, he's got a little ways.
I'm saying, Bundy, he has not. It was not his fault that they lost those 2 games.
I love that Kool-Aid.
Well, say what you want to say. It is not on Juice. Juice has done everything to put his team in position to win those games.
I will say this. What he does need to do in terms of his reads, I love to see him go down field a little bit more, but also his accuracy early has got to be improved. If you look at Penn State and if you look at Missouri, and even if you think about the 2 non-conference games with Eastern.
Those are his 2 worst games.
Right. His accuracy early is off. And that's really to me what sets the tone not only for the offense, but the defense. Because defensively, if you know you've got confidence in your quarterback and the offense moving the ball early, you may not play as tight. I think the defense is playing a little tight early because they don't have the confidence in what the offense is doing.
Now, with you saying that, why do you go for it on 4th and 3, your first series after halftime, on the 48-yard line?
I think at that point, your coaching staff makes a decision that you're trying to maybe inflect some adrenaline and emotion into the team, but it's a risky call.
But you still in the game. You only down 7 points.
I agree.
You only down 7 points.
But I think
you haven't stopped Penn State from running up the field all night.
And that's why
you don't give them the ball on the 48-yard line.
But I think the thought process wasn't, I'm going to give you the ball on the 48. The thought process is, I'm going to get the first down.
On a quarterback sneak for 3 yards?
Well,
come on now.
I hear what you're saying about the play
Come on,
calling,
man.
but I'm talking about the thought process of why you go for it. You go for it, so now you change the complexity of the game, going from 7 down to a tie game if you score. It changes
Up until that
attitude.
point, the last 2 drives Penn State had in the first half, Illinois stopped them. So they was getting momentum on defense. Now you come back after halftime, you give them the ball at the 40-yard line, 3 plays and they kick a field goal.
Right.
Now it's a 10-point game. Once you scoot them back, your defense has stopped in the last 2 drives before halftime.
Well, I think that, like I said, the final thing I'll say on it, the thought process is you got 189 yards rushing in that game. Penn State really wasn't stopping Illinois in terms of running the ball on the field. So the thought process as a coach, and this is my thought process, is that if you can't stop me running and it's only 2 or 3 yards, I'm going to get the first down. I'm going to keep the momentum.
I'm just going by the numbers. Penn State coming into last week was averaging 55 points a game. You do not give a team that's averaging 55 points a game the ball
short field.
at midfield.
No, I agree. What I'm saying is that I don't think the play call was thought that we're going to give you the ball on the short field.
Don't even
philosophy
give
is
them a chance.
I'm going to take the momentum from you, just like Ohio State last year. It was the same play call. fourth down, they moved the chains, they kept the ball for the entire 10-minute portion of the fourth quarter because people questioned that. And Juice Williams did what?
Quarterback sneak?
Quarterback sneak. He
For
kept the
1
ball.
inch,
Then
not 3 yards.
No, it was a yard. It wasn't 1 inch.
It wasn't 3
It
yards.
wasn't 1 inch. But he made the first down. It's the same philosophy. If he would not have made that yard last year, they don't beat Ohio State.
Yep.
So when the play works, everybody's, great play calling, you're aggressive, et cetera.
Nah,
When the play doesn't work,
but the difference
you go.
between that game, Ohio State was not on their offense like Penn State is this year.
It
Penn
doesn't matter,
State
they
is run
were-
up and down the field on any and everybody they play.
It doesn't matter. You still, as a coach,
Nah.
got to be consistent. And if you start playing close to the vest based on what everybody else is doing,
You had a better
you won't do
defense
anything.
last year. You had a better defense than you.
I don't think that people expected the defense this year
To fall off.
to fall off the way it has.
But it has.
But if
and
you
it has
ask-
3 games to
but-
show everybody
but
that they can't play
Wayne,
defense.
if you ask people before the season started,
What the
what's-
strength-
what they strengths
I'm
are,
not talking. I'm
everybody
talking
say-
about the results of all 3 games they played up until
Wayne,
Penn
I'm
State.
talking about before the
defense
season-
hasn't stopped anybody. I don't care about what the expectations was.
Okay, so-
I'm talking about what they've done.
Right.
Nothing.
So here's what
they
I'm
haven't
saying to
stopped
you.
anybody.
So here's what-
Louisiana,
that's why I
Lafayette,
said they're-
That's why
Louisiana.
they go for it.
Lafayette,
I'm a
Louisiana
coach and-
drove the field and almost won the game on them.
But here's the point we're trying to make, Wayne. If your defense, if you just said it, I'm looking at the team and the defense is not stopping my opponent.
You gotta
And
shake it up.
I got to shake it up. I got to do something different. Because if I
Yeah,
kick the
and
ball,
get a-
if I'm down 7, let me finish. If I'm down 7, I kick the ball downfield, and Penn State gets it and drives down the field and scores. Now I'm down 14.
And
And-
the clock is
And the
against
clock is up because now we're in the second half.
But
If
you
I
get-
go for it and make it, and
All
then
right,
I go down and
next
score.
because we bumped heads on this, and
I ain't
what I'm
got a
saying
bump on
is,
the head. I hear
Penn
what
State
you're
is
saying.
averaging 55 points. You don't give a team that's averaging 55 points a game the ball on their side of the field.
I agree. You don't give them there. But you don't go for it with the thought process, I'm giving the ball up.
Oh, if you
If
gonna
you-
go for it, go for it. Don't go for it. Quarterback sneak.
It's the same-
With 3 yards to go.
It's the same play, though. They
No,
get
it's not the same play,
It is.
Joe.
Wait,
It's not the same play.
Go back, get your DVD, your
It's not the same
07
play.
DVD out.
Well, it's a different play when it's a yard and 2 yards on the quarterback sneak. If you're gonna run it,
Get his
run
DVD.
run an option or give it to Michael LaShore, who's 240 pounds.
The weight of the player don't matter. Juice is 230. That's only 10 pounds.
Man, but he has.
I mean, we talk about
Okay, you
Yeah, I'm
take
telling-
all right. You
I'm not-
stand
I'm-
here. You've been down and you just run from a quarterback sneak position. You give me a 5-yard advantage and see who knock who back.
Well, I'll tell you what, and we'll move on from this. The play call, I think, was the
Was
correct
horrible.
play call. It
Was
just
horrible.
didn't work.
It
just
was
didn't
horrible,
work.
man.
It's always horrible when they
Quarterback
don't
sneak
work.
for 3 yards.
It's always horrible when they
A
don't work.
quarterback sneak for 3 yards, man. Come on now.
Well, let's move on to Aurelius Ben, because Aurelius Ben, he needs to break. He may bend, and he needs to break and break out. You got four receptions, 110 yards, 2 touchdowns. Before we get to that, we go to phone lines, 328-8280. Call and tell us your name, tell us where you call from, tell it like it is.
My name is Daisy, I'm calling from Texas.
Yes, sir.
Sorry to interrupt you on the base, but I had a question.
Go ahead.
I don't play football, but I was just asking what's the most important in football is to have a better defense or offense which will control the game.
Ooh, good question.
Excellent question, Davey.
question.
I'm going to turn that over, first of all, to Wayne, and then let
Defense.
the resident football referee answer that question. Wayne?
A good defense. Because, what was it, 2000, 2001? Baltimore showed you can win a Super Bowl
You're exactly
with a
right.
great defense and no offense.
You're exactly right. Because if the other team can't score, you only need 1 point.
Right.
And in football, you can score 2 on a safety or 3 on the field goal. Coach?
I'll say defense, special
Yeah.
teams.
Defense and special team? Yeah. What's the old saying? Offense puts butts in the seats, defense wins championships.
I say most important part is defense, and right behind that is a stellar offensive line.
Yeah.
That's where the game is won at.
In the
period.
trenches.
Any way you look at it.
Yeah, you're right. Anything else, Davion?
And my dad's a defensive coach.
Yes, he is. He's a great defensive coach, too.
So is he trying to make a point like he's a defensive coach, so he's responsible for his team being undefeated?
I think that's the point he made.
Well, tell him the head coach hired him and leave it at that.
Yeah, whatever the coach wins is he's the one that gets
Right.
the glory.
Now.
If they lose, it's the coordinator's fault. Davey, I appreciate you calling. Hit us anytime. Tell it like it is. Take care, man. Okay. Now, going back to Illinois, Aurelius Ben, you brought him up early. we talked about this off the air. You said you want to see 12 to 15 touches. He got 4 touches, 110 yards, 2 touchdowns. What do you do
Right.
to change that?
And that's a good question. I guess the volume. I mean, if you get 2 touchdowns out of 4 touches, like Bunny said, somebody else got to step up.
You're right.
You know, I mean, if you can get him 4 touches and the results is 2 touchdowns, I'm good with that. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Because you can't expect Arias Band to have 4 touchdowns a game.
Right.
You know what I mean? So I guess it's a pick your poison. Do you put him in a position to score, or you control the game by using him all the way up and down the field?
Now, my question to you is, last year you saw him returning kicks.
He's back there.
I've seen him back there, but I haven't really seen him get an opportunity where teams are kicking away. You
Yeah.
guys mentioned earlier.
Kicking away from
Kicking
him.
away from him. They kick to Derek Williams, touchdown. Kick
away
to
from-
Macklin, touchdown. Kick away from Ben,
Start
nothing.
on the 20.
Start on the 20 to 30. So, what do you do scheme-wise, Bundy or Wayne, either one of y'all? What, do you hide him back there? Do you change his number from 9 to 58? Or
No, you just keep playing.
Yeah.
They'll make a mistake. They'll try it.
they'll kick
Somebody
one,
get the Illinois-itis and try to,
Yeah.
try.
I hope, because I think that's really the thing that's holding the team back. It's not that Ben is not doing enough. You made it correct. 4 catches. That tells you 1 out of every
If he get him
every
8,
2 catches he's
8,
scoring.
right.
You
I'll
know,
take
so,
that
he
all
get
day
8,
long.
so if he get 8 passes, there's 4 touchdowns.
Right, I'll take that all day long.
But in today's scheme with this spread offense, it's hard for one player to get 8 to 12 touches because the spread offense, you spreading the ball out.
Right.
You may go long, short. Then you got it's almost like an option. It's a cheating for an option.
Right.
So it'd be hard.
to-
Now, if they ran a high back, pro set formation, it wouldn't be no problem.
To Illinois' credit, once again, the offense is not the problem. I mean, you're putting up 200 yards a
Yeah.
game.
Right.
Your quarterback is getting 100 of that on the ground almost.
I agree.
And your starting running back is getting 100 of that. Tight end is pulling down 5 to 6 catches with 80 yards.
Right.
It's not the offense.
I agree.
They're averaging 33 points a game.
Right. I
So
agree.
if you can't win after scoring 33 points, something wrong.
Well, speaking of averaging 33 points a game, Illinois now goes on the road again. They go up to Ann Arbor tomorrow. It's Michigan's homecoming. The Wolverines are 2-2 after a crazy, ridiculous comeback last week against the
ridiculous.
Wisconsin Badgers. They were down 19-0 at half, and they scored
5 turnovers.
27 points. Right, 5 turnovers first half,
half.
and scored 27 points in 13 minutes. Going up against Michigan now. Bun, I turn to you. It is not the game that I thought it would be 2-3 weeks ago. Going up there is not going to be as easy for Illinois because the Wolverines' defense, even though they're 2-2, their defense has really played some stellar football because 5 turnovers against Wisconsin, they only gave up 25 points.
Yep.
Against Notre Dame, they had 6 turnovers. They had 4 fumbles and 2 interceptions and lost by 35, I think, 18.
Sometimes a game like Wisconsin they had last week, that could be a new coach with his new philosophy, team believing, turning the corner. You know,
Or
they
a
was right
team
there
not believing in the beginning. Now
Yep.
they're starting to feel it.
starting to, they're
know,
starting to believe now.
Right.
Right. Now you got 3 as a quarterback, Sam McGuffey back there, running back from Michigan.
YouTube star.
Wayne,
This
I'm going to ask
game-
you, do you look at this spread offense that Michigan's running? He doesn't have, as he says, the personnel he wants to run it, but it's starting to get to the point where at least they're moving the ball up and down the field. And we just talked about Illinois' concerns on defense.
This game is Michigan is averaging 20 points a game.
Right.
280 yards a game, which is not that good. Illinois' defense is horrible. So you basically say Michigan offense is horrible, Illinois' defense is horrible. Now you got a good offense in Illinois and a very good defense in Michigan.
Right.
So it's going to come down to which one of Michigan's offense or defense, or Michigan offense or Illinois' defense, who can make the biggest play.
Right.
To offset the matchup on Illinois' offense and Michigan's defense. Because whoever steps up on Illinois' defense, Illinois should win the game. If Michigan somehow pulls something out the hat on offense, we know
Now-
Michigan is going to win that game.
Illinois has won in Ann Arbor 4 times in 50 years. 4 times. And
Last one in 1999.
Right, I was going to say, and 3 of them have been pretty recent.
Yeah.
Rocky Harvey.
Rocky Harvey, Johnny Johnson. You know, so when we talk about that, Stagger holding up the phone line, 328-8280. Call and tell us your name, tell us where you're calling from, tell it like it is.
Bill, this is Art from Champaign.
Yes, sir.
Hey, where's your good color at?
He's working another job right now.
That sucks. All right, hey, what Illinois is going to have to do to stop Michigan's run game?
That's what we're sitting here talking about. It's going to be pretty difficult considering
They're gonna put 10 in the box.
that. I agree.
I mean, they could do that.
They might have to put 9 or 10 in the box tomorrow to stop that run game because the front 4 or the front 7. I won't even say front 4. The front 7 haven't been doing their job.
No. Well, what's up with Martez Wilson? He seems not to be tackling anybody.
I think he's been put out in space too much. Wayne mentioned it earlier. It's not that he doesn't have the ability to do things. I don't think he's being put in the proper position to make plays.
Right. You got what you saw last week was a linebacker trying to stop one of the fastest wide receivers in the country. I don't know anybody who can do that.
I think they need to use him just like a blitz backer, an outside rush in, where he needs to be going up the field.
Exactly.
When he's put in a position to read and react, yeah, you may see him miss a tackle here or there, but that's because he's not been able to use his athletic ability to attack.
And what people fail to realize coming out of high school, this dude was a defensive end.
Right.
So he's never guarded anybody in space.
Right. Anything else, caller?
No, that's it. Thanks a lot, guys. Love the show.
Appreciate it, man. Appreciate you calling. Well, yeah, that's it. Back to the Michigan, Illinois. I mean, like you said, it's going to be the lesser of 2 evils.
Right. I mean, whichever one's, Illinois got a poor defense. Michigan got a poor offense. So whichever one of those 2 teams going against each other can make the big play while, Illinois with the turnover or getting good field position for their offense.
Right.
I can see Illinois winning this game because Illinois is going to score on Michigan's defense, but it ain't going to be 30 points.
Right.
So they're going to need some help from Illinois' defense.
I agree. I think the key for tomorrow, the key stat will be turnovers. If Michigan continues to turn the ball over the way they did last week against Wisconsin and against Notre Dame, and when they played Utah at the beginning, they turned the ball over.
Another thing, Joe, if Michigan turned the ball over 5 times, what was his name? Allen Everett from Wisconsin. He can't even compare to do the things that Juice Williams can do on the field.
Right.
I don't think Illinois let Michigan off the hook and kick 5 field goals in the first half. You turn the ball over 5 times to Illinois, they will put up 21 points.
But here's the big question. If Michigan doesn't turn it over.
It's a ball game.
And that's why I said that's the key.
If they don't turn it over, that means they're scoring.
Right, and that is where I'm glad we're looking at it now the same way. If Michigan puts that ball on the carpet the way they've been doing, Illinois wins this game. If Michigan doesn't turn it over, but let's say 1 time, it's going to be very difficult for Illinois to win this game because that means 2 things. That defense is out there on the field too long. And if the defense is on the field too long, we already agreed that's the weak link of this team right now.
And Michigan is giving up 88 yards a game rushing. That's second in the nation. So you can kind of eliminate that 200 yards a game that Illinois is putting up on the ground.
Right.
You knock that down to 100. So now the game is in Juice Williams' hand. Can he win the game?
Now, on the outside for Michigan, Morgan Trent's a senior, number 14. Weak cornerback, weak. If they can get Ben matched up against Morgan Trent, look for that matchup. I think he can get vertical on him. Because if you watch when Michigan does give up scoring plays in the air, Morgan Trent's usually involved in the play.
But man, they got to find some type of way. Brandon Graham, Tim Jameson, they meeting at the quarterback every play.
Terrence Taylor in the middle, 67. Yeah, that's where, like I said, it's going to be the immovable object against irresistible force on that side. Illinois offense, Michigan defense. That's
physics guy.
Hey man, yeah, I took it. Got a B in it too.
Hey,
and look what I'm doing with it now.
Right,
I'm selling insurance. Thanks, Mom, for the education.
Wow.
First half of the show, UPTV Channel 6, tell it like it is. If you want to give us a hit us at 328-8280.
Yeah, it's that girl over there. I don't know what she's doing. I think she's reading a book.
I think she is. Remember that there she is in all her glory. Got a ribbon on. Breast Cancer Awareness Month. Show it to him, Stat Girl. There you go. See, flash the ribbon. We're doing it. We're in support. UPTV Channel 6. Give us a hit if you got anything else you want to comment about.
What's up
in reference to
minimum?
Illinois. Minimum. All right, we did
5 more calls.
5 more calls.
30 minutes.
So we got 30. Actually, we got about 24 minutes, and we got 30 calls.
Oh, that's one.
Oh, her cousin. She texted. Hit me, girl. Call me.
Right.
Hey, give me this.
Let's get a score for tomorrow. With you, Bundy.
Okay. Bun, go first.
Okay.
Well, before we go to that, we'll go to the phone
look at
line.
there.
328-8280. Caller, tell us your name. Tell us where you're calling from. Tell it like it is.
Hey, what's up, guys? This is Cody.
What's going on, Cody?
I'm on campus right now. Listen, I tuned out what you were talking about Martez and him being out of position a lot. I tell you what, man, from what I'm seeing in the stands, man, it looks a lot like he's getting trying to pick up for other people that aren't doing their job. What do you think about, especially against Michigan spread, switching to like a 4-2-5, using three covered corners, and then trying to make up for our safeties? Because I don't know if we can rely on them being in a position like Sanders and Harrison and Mitchell always were.
I'm with you on that because one of the things that you got to look at, Dunsey Hardeman's back. He played his first game last week. He'll get a bit more activity out there. I think the other thing is, with the speed of Martez, maybe putting Martez and Brett Miller as the two, as he mentioned, going to 4-2-5, but let Martez attack the quarterback. Let him shadow the quarterback and attack the backfield as opposed to putting him out there in space where he's chasing all these backs.
This week will be a little different. Michigan doesn't pose that wide receiver threat that Penn State did last week. So
5 DBs, we ain't gonna do it. They need to at least run I'd run a 4-4.
You run well. You know what I think? My
4-4
opinion,
cover 2.
the Missouri game and the Penn State game, 2 things. Pressure. Start sending some guys up the field. Send 5, 6, and 7 guys up the field because I know that puts your DBs at a disadvantage. Either they got to go man and their backs are turned to the play, or they got to zone up and keep it in front. But if the quarterback doesn't have time to lock in on the receiver,
everything's going to be short.
that's it.
Keep it in front of
And
them.
if you keep it in front of you, they may not be able to move the field.
Yep.
Anything else, Cody?
No, man, that's not it.
Appreciate you calling, man. Hit us anytime. UPTV Channel 6. Take care.
Yeah.
Yeah. Score, Bun.
Michigan 27, Illinois 17.
Wow, 10-point victory. That's a big
You're
one.
giving a team that's averaging 20 points a game.
I think I'm going to have to say 24-21, and I'm going to say the Wolverines will win the game if they turn the ball over less than 2 times. If they turn it over more than 2 times, University of Illinois will come home with a victory. That's the key to this game.
All right. There you go.
Y'all don't want to hear what I got to say.
Yeah, we got to hear. We put our commitments out there on the air. You got to put yours out there. Cody and everybody out there at U of I is listening to us, man.
28-17 Illinois.
28-17
Tell you
Illinois.
that Kool-Aid is powerful.
Let me ask
I don't know where
you this. Let me ask you this. We talked earlier about the weaknesses.
So you, never mind.
No, what I'm going to ask you though, 28-17, do you believe, how many times you think Michigan will turn the ball over?
We good for 3 turnovers.
3 turnovers.
Okay.
If Michigan doesn't turn it over 3 times, then do you think the score stays 28-17?
28-21 Illinois.
So they still win the game. Okay.
Yep.
Well, and like I said, that's where I want to
Yep.
see where we're going to
Good.
go with this.
Yep.
Time to switch from football for a second.
To basketball.
Now I got to hold this up because everybody's been trying to figure out what's happening in Wrigleyville.
So we got
Here is the
we got
reason.
the Billy Goat.
We got the Billy Goat. We got the Black Cat. What's the other curses? You know, that they play in Chicago. But here's why.
Tell me.
I was sitting back and I
You talk
looked.
about my Mets, so it look like y'all gonna just play 3 more games, huh?
3 more in the Mets played.
We got to do it.
2 more.
The Sports Illustrated curse. The Sports Illustrated curse. The jinx.
We need to play our 162nd.
I forgot.
Yeah, that's true.
2 more. All right, yeah.
That's sad. That's sad.
Yeah, y'all sit here talking about the Mets. I'm talking about the Mets. They folded at the end.
Wait a minute, before we even talk about the mess, though, I got to
But you're in the playoffs.
Wait, I got to
We
ask
in
you
the
the
playoffs
question.
and they're not over.
Right,
It's not over.
That's good.
Relax.
I like that in you.
Relax.
Because you want to pull your hair out.
I already did. Look, it's gone. It is gone. I want to ask you, both of y'all, is this curse for real?
No. I'm going to tell you what the problem is. They've been playing so relaxed all year, and they like,
And they
dang.
rested the last 2 weeks.
And they like, dang, we in the playoffs. So in the playoffs, things get a little tighter, like them grips on them bats.
Right.
You instead of when they put the bat down, it's like a little ring around where your fingers, and they just need to go out there and relax and play baseball like they've been doing
Okay.
for 161
Hey,
games.
wait a minute.
They need to bring a Billy Goat to Wrigley Field, put him on the mound, and sacrifice him.
You know what?
Get it over with.
I'm with you,
Whoever
Wayne.
bring that Billy Goat out, they going to penitentiary.
No, it can just show up. We ain't got to have the cameras with it. It can just show up.
I tell you what, I'm gonna say this, and I hope no cat lovers call in and kill up. Staggerard and looked at me. But I told my brother that here's what they need to do. First thing they need to do is bring that Billy Goat out and sacrifice, like you said.
Right.
Then they need to get a swimming pool out there and electrify it and throw every black cat in there and just take care of them. Now I know we're gonna get some phone
He
calls.
can to Michael Vick.
Right.
He gonna be sitting there.
Something's gotta happen. They just threw, wait a minute, they put holy water in the dugout. The black cat, they done
Man.
come out, they've done everything.
Made Bartman move.
But wait a minute, here's,
Woo woo can't even go woo no more.
exactly. But here's the thing, you say the curse ain't real. Have you ever seen an infield where all four,
Except for the catcher.
except for the all four infielders make an error in one game?
Yeah.
Little League.
Yeah, thank you.
That's all it is, Little League.
It happens in the pros.
No, it don't.
Oh, man.
No, it don't. The Cubs gave up 17 runs in 2 games. 2 games.
Scored
Joe,
5.
Wayne, I told y'all this is a different Dodger team than y'all played earlier.
It ain't the point that it's a different Dodgers team. We talking about the Cubs.
Okay, well, take them 4 runs away. Oh, we'll score 10. All right, 6-3.
Well,
No,
Ryan
things
Dempsey.
play out differently.
Ryan Dempsey.
Things play out differently.
Okay. All right.
You don't have those 3 errors in the second inning. Things play out. I'm gonna tell you what Lou Piniella messed up at yesterday.
Where did he mess up yesterday?
First inning, Soriano gets a base hit. He moves up to second. Lou Piniella played for the big inning.
Right.
In the first inning, after losing the first game. If you bunt Soriano over with Terrio,
Right.
play to get that 1 run. Break the ice, man.
Right.
Get, loosen the team up.
Right.
He played for the big inning, and neither one of them got a hit. Soriano trotted out to center field, to left field from second base.
And that's
Never
it.
got past third.
Yeah, now see, and here's the thing I agree with you. In the playoffs,
It's the song.
is you have to let me finish my point. Playoffs, you
him
got
get
to
'em off.
play
Get 'em
to
off.
win the game. And I agree with Wayne. When you got guys in scoring position, you have to play to win the game.
That's true.
That's why you
he
play
played
the
for the
game.
big inning, and it backfired, man. You bunt him over. Derek Lee ain't hit since I don't know when. Let him pop up to center field like he gonna do. Or even hit a ground ball like he been doing.
Right.
Soriano scored from third.
Fukudome ain't playing no more this
No,
series.
he said he is through with Fukudome. Did you hear what he said? He said no more Fukudome.
Hey, he over there eating sushi right now.
Wow, man, Fukudome ready to go right back to Tokyo. He's done.
Right.
That is sad.
Take
But-
your 60
but-
million and bounce.
But the Cubs, you talk about the Brewers too. Let's talk about them. They
Oh,
ain't
come on,
it ain't like they burning up the series either.
Buddy, let's
Brewers,
be real.
come on,
The
man.
Brewers backdoored
They ain't
into
got
the
no
playoffs.
pitching.
The Cubs were the best team in the National League the
Yep.
entire season.
Sure was.
Offense and defense. And now they get in. It would be similar to in football. If the New England Patriots last year went 16-0, and in the first round of the playoffs lost. But here's the thing, and only scored 3 points.
Right.
That's the equivalent of what I'm saying.
But you know what? I hate to say it. I like, oh man, I think the Cubs gonna win the series.
I hope you're right. Because if they
You know
don't,
what? I mean, I ain't trying to be a homer, but
I think they'll win tomorrow. We'll give them confidence.
if they win tomorrow, the
Dodgers
Dodgers tighten up if they win tomorrow.
I'm telling you, the Dodgers
tighten up.
We saw this a couple years ago.
right.
It ain't like it can't happen.
Boston did it.
I stayed up many nights at 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock in the morning watching Boston and New York, and you be like, and you wake up like, yeah, you know,
What?
after a while,
What
you
happened?
3-1, 3-2, 3. You like, okay,
Right.
it's got to end somewhere. But Chicago, well, Chicago was a must-win situation. I think getting out of Wrigley Field,
Getting out of
the West-
Chicago,
getting out
period.
of West Coast swing, they go out there
Loosen up.
in Dodgerland, then win the first one.
So can Rich Harden stop the bleeding?
He got to.
He can do it.
And the guy told me today is what about bullpen? Everybody's available. Zambrano,
Get on out
Yeah.
there. Yeah,
Yeah.
I agree.
it ain't no tomorrow.
Okay,
But they got to. If they win the first one, they'll win the second one close, and they'll come back to Chicago Game 5 and blow them out the water. And that said it was a great series. You heard it here
Bundy.
first. Tell it like it is. I
Hey,
hate to
man.
say it, but I ain't no Chicago person, Illinois or something.
Yeah.
But I got a feeling. And when I get, every once in a while, Coach Green, he right sometimes.
and sometimes that feeling could be the onset of constipation or diarrhea.
Like last year, you in them costumes.
Well, that's
The
true.
team with them costumes, and what I tell you,
Right,
The costume.
Right, you talking about Oregon? The Ducks.
Ah, yeah.
I rode the Ducks all the way till they quacked out. So, but
Dennis Dixon.
do you think that bats are going to come back alive because
Yeah,
they're going
they
into
will.
the warm weather?
I
Yeah.
did see something last night. I mean,
If you notice,
can get to that bullpen.
both games lost.
the,
6th, 7th, 8th, 9th inning, the bats come around. It's like they gotta wake up like, okay, guys, let's go
Yeah.
ahead and do it. They expecting. A couple weeks ago when they played Milwaukee, they was down 6-2, bottom of the ninth, 1 out, and they scored, tied the game up. Soto hit a home run, tied up going to extra. They can't think like that. They can't think I'm gonna come back
gotta
in the
start
ninth inning.
from the
You gotta
first.
start from
And-
play ball.
and that's why I said last night
And
was
to the final
a huge
pitch. Right.
inning. The first inning
Right.
was a big inning, and it just didn't jump off.
Yeah,
But if it don't, I told y'all guys, people done dug up them cases in the backyard. They dug them up. Now they got the noose out of the case.
Nah, man, you talking about a different breed. Man.
And then
I mean,
look,
it's
and then
100
they got-
years. Ain't nobody.
And then look, tonight they put the noose over the tree.
They tugging on, getting it ready. Oh yeah, this is dude.
And then tomorrow,
Making sure the break
if, it
don't
don't-
break.
if I'm wrong tomorrow, if I'm the GOAT tomorrow,
you got to have goat sandwich.
Grissom gonna have a whole lot of investigating to do.
Look, we look around talking about what in the world?
Right.
Who hung all these people?
This is a serial killer of phenomenal proportions. This is ridiculous. Right. Yeah, I'm with you. Now I tell you what, Bud, I will say this. Number one, if you watch the Cubs bats, and you go back to April when the Cubs weren't hitting, why? It was cold. And going out to L.A., it'll be a little warmer. It was cold these last 2 nights.
better
I hate
hope.
to make the excuse, but if you look at when the Cubs bats got hot in May, when we got the unseasonably warm weather in May, and Soriano took off, look for him tomorrow to go at least 2
It's
for
the
4.
song.
It's 90 degrees
They
out
quit
there
playing.
now, too.
They didn't quit playing that song. Everybody waiting around
We
for that
ain't
song.
heard it since last week.
Right. But they play it. They play it on the radio.
No, well, maybe they do up there. I don't know.
I know your voices get a little high pitched. You need to might go to the doctor and get checked out for that too.
Oh, that's funny, it's that girl.
We only got about 10 minutes left in this show, and this has
That's
been
funny.
a hilarious ride through the world of sports.
So
But I'm
Ozzy
telling
gonna-
you,
So
for
what
on
Ozzy
the
gonna do
real.
tomorrow?
What
Ozzy.
Ozzy?
But for real, on the real tip.
I
Hey,
I don't know.
I'm gonna tell everybody out here. I'm gonna tell everybody. Look at Jason. Put the camera on these two guys. Put it on both of them.
Yeah.
'Cause I'm telling you, if the Cubs lose tomorrow, you ain't gonna see these guys no more.
Why not? We used to it.
Right, all right, about 100 years.
But
When have they won something?
But Joe done went on a limb. Oh, they gonna win 100. I mean, he came so close. I was like, dang.
I
man.
predicted-
I was like, oh wow.
In March, I said the
We could
Cubs
have won
would go
100
on.
games, but we coasted the last
You
2
couldn't have
weeks.
won 100 games.
Well-
Because you didn't play the last one.
Yeah, they cut it out. But anyway,
Yeah.
I said I'm gonna sit here on the camera. I'm gonna say it again. I said the Cubs go 162 for the season, and they were gonna win the World Series. Bun's right. I said this way back in March.
You did.
And I've been riding this horse all the way. But I'm gonna tell you right now, they might have to take my horse out back and put a pistol to his head. If
Yours.
Rich
Man,
Harden.
this dude is trying to get locked up with Michael Vick. Could you please stop it with the animal cruelty?
Oh, that's right. I done shot a horse in the head. I done
Burnt a
electrified
cat.
cats. He like, sacrificed a goat.
He like
either I'm into satanic something, and I got it right here on TV. You're gonna be calling the people.
He like Barbaro, huh?
Hey, the guy's talking about shooting a horse in the head and electrifying cats. Yeah, we might want to look him up. Well, let me move on to football then, so I don't kill any other animals out here. Speaking of animals getting killed, bears and lions.
The Lions.
Go at it this weekend. Now,
You know the
Bun,
Vikings ain't doing no killing.
well, we'll get to them first. Let's relax now. Hey, now.
Oh, you can't get them using for good fantasy. They not even good fantasy choice. I'm glad I didn't pick their defense.
I'm going to sit here patiently like a good teacher
Okay, we done.
until the class is settled down.
We done. Settle down, bud.
Are you settled?
I guess so.
No, you ain't. Lions, Bears. Lions fired Matt Millen. Matt Millen stuck around just as long as.
That's ironic. Now, William Ford Jr. said if he had the power, he'd fire him. And then 2 days later, he get fired.
He got the power.
got the power.
I said, Daddy run the company?
No, he went in and slapped his daddy and said, "You better." And what his old daddy do? Matt Millen needed to have been fired at least 2 years ago.
3 years.
Matt Millen did to the Detroit Lions what Isaiah Thomas did to the New York Knickerbockers.
Don't even talk about that.
Well,
if I ever see that man,
You gonna slap him
it's
too.
gonna be some drama.
I don't know, man. Isaiah, hey, he a little
I
feisty,
don't
man.
care.
Okay.
If
But-
I see him, it's gonna be some drama on the spot.
But like I said, Matt Millen's gone now. The Lions have had a week to prepare. They had a bye week last week. Chicago goes to the Dome. Now, Chicago just played a stellar game at home against the Eagles and pulled out a victory.
Coming off a high.
But
He high right now.
here's the but. Tommy Harris didn't play last week. He got suspended for this week's game with a little falling out with Lovie Smith. First of all, I can't even see Lovie yelling at anybody. That just don't make no
He
sense.
probably did.
Oh,
He
Tommy,
probably did.
you need to slow
You
down.
know you got to sit down this
Tommy,
week.
you know, Tommy. Now, Tommy, we're going to let Dusty start this week instead of you because you violated team rules. Now that you violated team rules, we're going to have to go out there and play without you. Do you understand, Tommy?
Tommy
Okay.
probably reached around and choked him.
Voice got high, too, like yo. But with that being said, Lions, Bears, give me a score. Bears, Lions, who wins, who plays?
The Lions scored 10 points.
There you go.
Bears 21.
21, Lions 10.
Yeah.
Bun, you got on that Lions moo-moo.
He can't even fathom up 3 ways they gonna score. I mean, come on.
38,
Man, please.
38-21 Lions. Calvin Johnson gonna go to work on them.
Calvin Johnson.
Okay.
No, Calvin got a job at McDonald's. now?
Yeah. He should be owner by now.
Right.
Hey, you see Cedric going to the Bengals now.
Yeah, Cedric's gone to the Bengals, but we'll stick with Lions and Bears. And the Bears, even though I can't say this, it's like Fonzie saying, I'm sorry. Oh, Bears win 17-3 over the Lions. It's not
10
even
points is the max for the Lions.
Monday night game, Vikings and Saints.
But let's talk
Vikings
about-
are
let's talk
1-3.
about Al Davis.
Well, we're going to talk about Al Davis. I just want to
Because
get the 2 games out the way.
that Monday night game, you might watch the new CSI.
Yeah, well, but like I said, let's talk about Vikings Saints first. Vikings 1-3. Gus Frerotte got hurt last week, but he'll be back under center. Saints are
He started
2-2.
for the rest of the season now.
Yeah,
Come on
Saints are 2-2. Now, what's his name?
Putting up a lot
Marcus
of points.
Colston is still out,
still
and
putting up a lot of
your guy Shockey, he's out.
Out.
But it doesn't matter. Drew Brees is still
Deuce is
throwing-
back.
Deuce is back. McAllister is running wild. Reggie Bush has been put out in space. Vikings, Saints. I know y'all want to give it to me on the air. That's why I wanted to give y'all this before we went off the air. What do you say?
Saints 28. Vikings 17. Sorry, Joe.
That's not a problem.
I think
I don't take it
the Vikings gonna win. Myself,
Score?
I don't.
They got to be able to
2-0.
muster up some points against New Orleans, man.
That means defensive game.
Right, there's no safety. Yeah. First of all, they're playing in the dome buns. It won't be 2-0. Second of all, Drew Brees been for the past 3 weeks. He done threw for about 17,000 yards.
Right.
So it ain't gonna be no defensive struggle. I will say this though: the Saints, Cedric Ellis, the rookie defensive tackle, he's out. He's out for the game.
So all day.
So
just a run all day.
day will be going up the gut. You're gonna see that. That's gonna keep the Saints offense off the field.
Time.
Tick, 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 tick. Look for Minnesota to 24.
T.O.P.
24-17 victory, Minnesota Vikings. You'll see a defensive score by the Vikings defense to kind of break the spell of what's been happening. Now, Al Davis, Oakland Raiders. Let's talk about that real
Man,
quick.
I
Have you
watched-
ever seen a coach get fired like that?
I watched the press conference. Al, first of all, he
That
bought
man
the,
need to be in
he bought the
somebody-
teleprompter back, you know, the overhead projector, and he was like sitting there, and the man was like,
Then he need to be in somebody's nursing home instead of trying to
I'm
own
telling
somebody
you,
football.
I hate to say,
mortuary.
the Raiders was one of my surprise teams early in the year, but
Yeah, surprise.
they got so many. They were not being good. I hate to say it, God rest his soul, till Al Davis closed his eyes forever.
He did. He just brought him back.
Right.
He's the crypt keeper. If you look at Tales of the Crypt,
You know,
that's Al Davis.
He said Kiffin, son, he tried to swindle his way out of the contract.
Yeah, talking about he was losing on purpose so he could get fired.
Yeah.
No, he wasn't.
He can't go to the unemployment office and file for unemployment.
We were like, what's your occupation? Coach.
Okay.
What other experience do you have?
Coach.
Coach. All right, tell you what. Domino's needs a delivery guy. Can you go to Domino's? 30 minutes of left lane, Kiffin. Sure, I'll do that. What in the world? He's going to fire the man and then tell him he cannot get the rest of his contract?
Right.
That just show you how old Al Davis is.
And
He
Warren
still
Sapp
think-
said on TV, he was called out on the phone.
Right.
Change the defense.
Change tape.
What?
He said he
Change it.
He changed a play
Yeah.
during the huddle from upstairs.
He's crazy.
The dude, right.
Now, Scott Linehan got fired in St. Louis.
Should have been
We know
fired.
that.
He should have been. Now, you know what that points out to me is that some guys are good coordinators. They're good
Yeah.
X and O guys, but
Mike
they're not
White.
good leaders. Head coaches aren't X and O guys, they're managers.
Yep.
If you really think about it, their job is to make sure that the defensive coordinator and offensive coordinator give them a game plan to put together, go out there and win the game.
So what was Buddy Ryan?
Buddy Ryan wasn't a good coach.
Nah.
He was a defensive coordinator. That's the reason why him and Kevin Gilbride had that phony fist fight back when they coached with the Houston
Buddy
Oilers.
Ryan gave him the gator arm.
Right. So, you know, Scott Linehan, he was at Minnesota, he was at Miami as an offensive coordinator. He's a great X-Zone guy. He'll be out of football this year, but he'll be back next year because somebody needs somebody to run their offense.
The Bears.
You know what? You laughing, but don't be surprised.
I'm not.
Scott Linehan may be in Chicago.
I said it for a reason.
You're telling the truth.
Man, Ron Turner needs to go.
Ron Turner, I hate to say that way, but
He needs to go.
have to agree with you. Now, week 5, you know, like I said, Minnesota's 1-3. Some other teams and I'm gonna talk about my team, the Vikings. We spent a lot of money in the offseason,
Yeah.
a whole lot of money, and that team is supposed to be primed for a playoff position and even a
Ain't
Super
nothing
Bowl.
but paper champions.
Ain't even a paper champion. They just paper.
Ain't a good Madden team.
So do you? Well, considering the fact you sit over with a Detroit Lions parka on, I ain't even dignify that. But do you think Brad Childress should be one of the next guys in line to be fired?
No, don't care. As long as
He got the tools to win. He should be winning.
Right.
Tom in New York keep winning. He all right.
Oh, okay.
I wanted to get rid of him last year.
As soon as they stop losing, let me see, you going to follow down the line. The Jets will be his next team.
No,
Yeah.
not Brett Favre.
Well, I
He'll
tell you
be
what.
gone by the time the Giants start losing.
Well, you know what? Brett Favre threw for 6, Giants winning, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. But before we get on out of here, tomorrow night, Kimbo Slice, the YouTube sensation, takes on Ken Shamrock.
Bunny
Real
cousin.
quick, before we get out of here, is your cousin going to beat up Ken Shamrock?
Yeah.
Shamrock 50 years old, ain't he?
Right, Shamrock, 50 years old, glass jaw. Now, I will say this. If Shamrock gets close to Kimbo, where he can get him on the ground, that beard might scratch Shamrock up, you know, and he submit from a beard scratch. But if he gets that twist on that leg,
Yeah.
it's a wrap. Shamrock got it. Well, UPTV Channel 6, tell it like it is. For Stat Girl, Big Bun, Big Wayne, Big Joe, we enjoy it. As usual, hit us every Friday night. But check us out Sunday on WCFN at 6 p.m. See ya.
Peace.
Y'all some goddamn fool.
Man.
You ready? Let's go.